Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, the amazing Tea Street. This is my mug today. It says Bake Me Happy. It's from a local bakery here in Columbus. I chose this mug today because I'm missing my mentee Brandon. And Brandon gave me this mug. He rode up on me one day in my office and he had a pastry for me and he had my coffee and it was in this mug. And because I was missing him today, I thought I would just choose that mug for today. So today I want to jump right in and I want to talk about, as a part of the Don't Skip the Process series, I want to talk a little bit about, and I want to delve into the first insulation. I'm sure there will be more because this is one of those processes that goes on and on. But today I want to begin the conversation about don't skip the process of grieving death. I have somebody in my life who says, look, I'm not dealing with death and dying. I'm just putting that ish in a box. That's her favorite thing. I'm putting that ish in a box. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to let it out. I'm going to keep the lid on like a vault. I'm not going to deal with this issue because if I open up the lid, all the stuff going to come flying out. But can I just say to you today, just because you don't open the lid doesn't mean it's not coming out anyway. It may not come flying out like the butterflies that come out of that surprise box, but it's oozing. And I want to tell her so bad, it shows up in so many ways. Your grieving shows up in so many ways. Just because you don't acknowledge it doesn't mean it's not coming. And so I want to, today, most people know that Monday, this past Monday marked 4 years since I lost my mother. It marked 3 years since I lost my lifetime mentor. And then on Wednesday, my mom's last surviving brother transition to heaven on this Wednesday. And it was in all of this loss this week that I really wanted to tackle this notion of grieving. Now, I'll be real candid with you. For a couple of years after my mom passed, I was in therapy. And every now and then I still get a tune-up. So I think that therapy is really, really important. But I want to talk about what are some of the lessons that I have learned from grieving death and allowing myself to grieve. Well, one of the things I'll tell you is I'm that person who, when I'm really having one of those moments, I don't try to suppress it. And I'm not telling you if you do that process is wrong. I'm not telling my friend that her process is wrong, because how everyone chooses to walk through their seasons of grief is really a personal thing, and there is no judgment from me. Me, myself, when I'm having a day like that, like this week, I have watched every sad, soppy movie that would allow me to just emote all by myself. I don't want a crowd for it. I don't want folks stroking me. I don't want people like, oh, I'm praying for you, T. I don't want none of that. In fact, that's not helpful for me. What's helpful for me is just to allow myself to feel the pain that I feel, recognizing that pain is going to produce something in the end. What has it produced in me? It has produced in me a knowledge that grief is a long time and long-term process. There is no quick fix. And as someone who loves a quick fix, I love a quick fix, y'all. I love if I can get it. You can tell me what's wrong and I can help you and I can fix it. One, it's not a quick fix for me. But what I hate most is that when my friends are grieving, I can't fix it quickly for them. Because I like to solve problems for my friends because it makes me feel useful. Grief has taught me that as someone who is a control freak, the one biggest lesson that I've learned is that grief taught me I am not in charge. I am not in control. I have had to rely on other people. I have had to mostly rely on God. I don't get to control it because there are days I'll be having a good day, y'all, and something will happen that will trigger just this overwhelming sense of grief. And so it's given me a humility that I don't know that I probably would have had without it. Now, do I wish that I could have learned humility without grief? Yes. But I learned that, guess what, T? You not in charge or in control. You not the boss of T. That's one of the big lessons that I've learned. I've learned to live my life to the fullest because tomorrow really is not promised. We say it like a cliche, but when you watch people take their last breath and when you watch people have regrets at the end, can I say to you, I don't intend to have any regrets at the end. It's taught me that I'm on borrowed time. And so what I'm going to do with that borrowed time, I'm going to wear life out. Life going to be tired. When I get to the end, there won't be potential in my grave, just an empty carcass. Because I promise you, Potential in the cemetery is wasted. So what grief has taught me is to live life to the fullest. Life, I'm wearing you out. Everything that's on my bucket list, check, is happening because my time is borrowed. And grief and grieving people that I love has taught me, don't get to the end and have regrets. It's taught me that my family and my friends are precious gifts. I lost my uncle on Wednesday, and it reminded me that my Aunt Marion is 96, and she's the last surviving sibling of 10. She's my mom's sister. My uncle that I lost was my mom's brother. My dad is one of 2 siblings left on his side of the family. And can I tell you, it's made me really appreciate how awesome it is that God has satisfied them with long life and that they indeed are precious gifts. And finally, it's taught me that it's okay to feel what I feel when I feel it without apology. And so those are some of the lessons, not all, but some of the lessons that I've learned from grieving. And when I tell you, most people don't know this, that I have multiple families, and that I have, out of 15 siblings, not all from the same family, but out of 15 siblings, I only have 6 left. So yeah, I know a little something about grief. I just don't talk about it all the time. But can I tell you, I do allow myself to learn the lessons. And finally, I learned to fix things while I still can, because it's too late when we die to admit we don't see eye to eye. So I fix it, I heal it, and I move on. I want to thank everybody who came on this morning, because grief is a hard topic. I see some of my favorite people on here. Seneca, I see you. I pray for you often, because though I know grief on a lot of levels, I can't even imagine that kind of mother's grief. I want to thank Michelle, because I know you know what it means to walk through the same pathway of grief. I know, Tina, we don't just grieve people that we lose. We grieve parts of life that we've lost and surrendered. So I just want to thank you all for coming on. And I want to tell you that whatever you're doing and however you're choosing to walk out your grief process, don't skip it, because there are lessons in there. But give yourself grace for however you choose to process your grief. I'm the amazing T Street, but can I tell you, there's absolutely positively nothing amazing in me that's not in each and every one of you. So today, I encourage you to not skip the process of grief. Get every lesson that you can from it. Have an amazing day.